Hi guys, Xyphoe here, and today I've got a new Amstrad CPC long play and review for you. And it's a brand new game released last month, no less. It's called Vector Volts from a programmer called Alberto Rodriguez Martinez. And it's kind of a really cool cross between Scramble meets Thrust. And it's all done in some kind of a vector graphics style. It's super smooth and fast, and I absolutely love this to bits. So here we are on the title screen. There's a password you can enter to go to any of the 9 levels, 2 skill levels, kid and adult, child and adult, sorry. You can change your keys, then yeah, we'll stick with joystick, and we'll read the instructions and story here. History: you are Samuel, a human abducted by some danger. What? Into Anu's mothership in orbit around Earth. They make an offer: help us break into the onboard computer Solomon using virtual avatar Enoch. They can't do it themselves as their neural profiles are well ... Known to Solomon. Your reward: Galactic Imperium citizenship. Among many other advantages, this will extend your lifespan indefinitely. You don't know yet who's Anu or why these Dinger want to break into Solomon, but unending life is enough motivation. Bit of a strange story here. Just before Samael switches you to virtual mode inside Solomon, you state, "Let's do this," in a loud, confident voice. You're in charge of a ship-shaped virtual avatar called Enoch. Your job is to penetrate each of the security encryption layers of Solomon in order to finally crack the computer and defeat Anu. The ship energy level is located on the bottom left corner. Try and get through this quickly. Of the screen, keep picking up batteries to refill it. Joystick or keyboard may be used to play Vector Volts. The fire button or space key activates the turbo speed. The escape key ends the game and returns to the menu. Right, oh yeah, a far more lenient skill level called Child is available from the main menu, so everyone can enjoy the game. Right, so a very sort of strange backstory. I think we'll come on to that more later. And here's the credits. Gameplay testing, design and code and sound, all done by Alberto. A couple of gameplay testers. Yeah, okay, I think we can start the game up very shortly. Some greetings messages. Well, it is public domain, this game. Though you can actually buy a physical copy online, more on that in a bit. But let's actually get this started up. I'm using a lot of classical music throughout the game. And here we go. And as you can see, it's all done with lines. There's no actual sort of real filled sprites or anything like that. And there's no actual shooting involved in the game. You just have to navigate through the maze, pick up the batteries, avoid the nasties, and reach the end, which has a key at the end of the level. Pick up the key and you move on to the next one. So it's a race against time, really, with your energy level running out. As I said, there's no laser weapons to fire. Just use the fire button to speed up, like you see I'm doing in various places. And it moves ever so smoothly. There you go, there's the turbo in action there. Speed up. And the levels are timed. You can take as long as you want, really, unless your energy runs out, but it gives you an incentive. There's the ending there of the first level. It gives you an incentive to like beat your time. There you go, look, time 1 minute 0.9 seconds. Excellent. Solomon encryption layer broken, and you get a password. So I wonder if anyone can beat the 1 minute barrier on this first level. That'd be quite a cool challenge for the forums. And then you get a bit of backstory. You learn this. Anu is the supreme ruler of Kingdom of Space during the first time the Golden Age when the gods ruled directly on Earth. Okay. We'll come back onto the story in a bit. Why it really needs a story, I don't know. But as you can see, this is, as I already said, it's really fast and smooth. It allows you for some really tight maneuvers like you just saw there. And you can blast through the level and feel absolutely great for doing it using turbo for most of it. And as far as I know, using the turbo doesn't drain your battery as faster. I can't make out if it does or not. But it should be fairly obvious which objects you can pick up and which you can't. In later levels there'll be some specific things you need to do and things get a little bit more interesting. But this is the kind of game I want to be seeing being made on the Amstrad. New games using clever techniques and interesting ideas and concepts, and just please no more single screen platformers if possible. Well, actually no, make them. We want more games for the Amstrad, definitely. I just that I've got a little bit tired of seeing yet another single screen sort of platformer, puzzler or whatever. No disrespect intended to the hard work behind them, but this game is really different and really cool, and this really caught my imagination and excitement. Okay, yeah, so end of level 2 there, and we got some more backstory. You learn this: God means extremely technologically advanced. Original humans were created as workforce to mine gold or something there. Right, yes. Let's give a bit more of a background. Oh, there's some like alien ships there to avoid. Really cleverly done using lines, I have to say. So the story behind the game, well, let's read the blurb on the back of the box, because you can buy a physical copy and from the website. Vector Volts is an original and addictive fast retro arcade game exclusive for the Amstrad CPC that will test your pilot skills. To just take a pause there, we're going underwater now. Some new elements have been introduced. Back to the background of the game. It's the first game of the Hidden History Saga, and upon completion it will give you a secret code to use in Lightlands, the next entry in the series. Gameplay is based upon vector graphics and it's 100% spriteless with 25 frames per second, multi-directional, variable speed, pixel precise scroll, and which may be the first game to do 4 things at the same time. The CPC, possibly, maybe. The physics on ship and camera are fine-tuned to provide natural and smooth handling throughout the 9 stages, where gameplay is the main focus. If you want smoother experience, try it on original hardware. Vector Volts pays homage to the Vectrex video game console. And we've given already the bit of the backstory to the game from the menu there, so I don't really need to reread that out. But it's a very, very strange sort of story that isn't very well written. Oh, this is very tight, difficult bit there. And we get more of a story here that it gets revealed at the end of the level. The English and grammar isn't very good at all. I wish Alberto had contacted me to help proofread it or something like that, or I don't know. Okay, you learn this. Anu's kind are the Dinger. The Cadicus is a DNA strand. Science was forbidden to as many modern humans yet have essential Nephilim DNA. There's so many strange characters and words being thrown in this story. It just comes across rather odd and amateurish. I really wish they hadn't bothered with this sort of backstory, because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't really add anything to the game apart from just sort of confuse you and make it seem a less polished and professional product. And the presentation between the levels and like the menu screen stuff really could have been a bit better. But I've been very harsh there criticising, because it is a one-person game programmed, designed by graphics, sound, music, and all that. So it's a huge amount of effort. So I'm not diminishing that. I just kind of wish that was maybe dropped or done a different way. So enough about my main gripe of the game, which is really kind of a bit something that you can just ignore and just concentrate on the game and really enjoy, because it's all about the game and the gameplay, and this is incredible fun. The controls are very, very responsive. It needed to be for a game of this type. As you can see, as I already mentioned, it's fast and smooth. One thing I have to mention, oh yes, of course, in this level you have to pick up this. Things change now. You have to pick up an object to open a barrier, like so. And we'll see new things develop later on. One thing I haven't mentioned is sort of gravity doesn't play a factor in the game, or in the main game. You'll see some kind of gravity affecting you later on in a different level. But one thing that does happen is you're always kind of being pulled forward to the right of the screen rather than being pulled down, like in Thrust, for example, which is very, very similar to this in a way. So as you can see, I'm moving sort of left and right when I'm sort of moving down or up, to try not to crash into a wall, because you are sort of being pulled forward. So you're always sort of jiggling left and right. See, I'm being pulled forward there, and I'm moving back and keep moving back because I'm being pulled forward. So that's a little bit strange. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it certainly makes the game a lot tougher. A lot tougher. As you can see, it's always scrolling as well, even by a tiny amount. Thankfully, we reached the end there. So that's something to watch out for. You're always being pulled forward, so it gets a little bit. It takes a little bit of getting used to. So the next part of the story, let's read it out. You learn this. Dingia are born in special beds without parents. Dingia made humans. Dingia equals dragon equals Deva equals angel. Grail bloodline. Osiris. David. Okay, the story gets stranger and weirder. Let's ignore it. So on to level 5. Okay, this is where gravity comes into play. Those objects there will pull you towards it. So it's a sort of a positive force, gravity force. You will see ones later that have the negative effect and push you away, the positive ones, whereas the negative ones pull you in. So you see a line in the middle, that will mean it's negative, and you'll see a plus symbol in the others that will be pushing you away. Personally, I would have thought it'd be the other way around. Oh, there's ones that are pushing you out, so be very careful. But if you get a bit of rhythm there, you can really sort of slide all the way through quite quickly. I'm just taking my time here now. Things are starting to get a little bit tougher, and so I'm going to be a little bit more cautious, and I'm not going to race through. Doing that sort of loop round to the back there is quite difficult, and especially like looping around here. Remember, the screen is always scrolling, even by a couple of pixels a time. So watch out for that, because you're going to run out of space to get like those things to open the gate there. Yeah, it's pushing me away there, the positive one. Watch out for this corridor, so I'm being very careful. This one's going to pull me in, so is that one, but I want the batteries. And that was a very tough section there. And this is a very awkward level to get there, to get a hang of. Now, if you die or crash, you start back at the start of the level. There's no sort of checkpoint or anything like that. However, there's no game over. You can play the level again and again and again to your heart's content, which is kind of cool and nice. However, you do start right at the back. So you've got to do the level perfectly, basically, every time, if you want to progress. So that's a little bit evil, but you basically got infinite lives, which is kind of cool. And even if you complete this game, you kind of want to come back and see if you can do the levels faster or quicker and beat your old time. Would have been nice to have like a high score table where you could save your times actually to disk. I'm not sure if that happens or not. I didn't check that out. But maybe a feature, if it isn't present, that could be added onto the next game, which I presume will follow a similar type of gameplay. Yeah, there's a bit of a black screen before each sort of thing appears in between the levels. We've got a bit of black screen here, to wait a few seconds for some text to appear. which is a little odd. But anyway, you learn this. Angels saw that the daughters of humans were beautiful, and they married any of them they choose. Nephilim are the sons of male Dinger and human women. Lovely. Right, level 6. I want to talk a bit more about the technology behind the game and get a little bit geeky and nerdy. Before we do that, we've got a new thing introduced here. These little floaty things, you have to collect them all to open the next gate. And there you go. Yeah, don't leave one behind. You need to get all of them. So on Alberto's website, which I'll put a link to in the description, of course, and where you can buy a physical copy of the game and a personalised edition of it too, he talks about the technology behind the game. This is what he has to say. Vector Volts draws inspiration from the excellent Amstrad CPC Scrambler clone Killer Cobra. Oh yes, I love Killer Cobra. Go and check out the long play of that in my channel. Killer Cobra, which uses hardware scroll. Vector Volts does not use hardware scroll, but a new graphic technique called Mode C, as he's called it, not Mode 3, which I thought of around 29 years ago. This Mode C, as he calls it, provides 3 colours and 160 by 200 pixel resolution, which is less than ideal. And its primary advantage is being able to clear the screen 7 times faster, and comes very handy for vector graphics. Internally, Mode C is a double buffered Mode 0 that works by manipulating the palette between frames cyclically, keeping always 14 of the 16 colours invisible, hence the 3 usable colours counting the background. That way the task of erasing the whole screen may be divided into 7 steps, each performed on a consecutive frame. This has to be done alternatively on each of the 2 video buffers. This technique is made possible thanks to how the Amstrad CPC handles the palette, and of course may be used for any kind of scroll or other types of movement. Whew. You got that? And now we've got some more backstory to read out. Nephilim equals Anakim equals giant. Anakim are the heroes of old. Hercules, Goliath, Gilgamesh, Noah was a Nephilim. Abraham's ancestors were something or other, whatever. Alright, level 7. And lastly, to mention on the technology, for those of you who are curious, during development I tested using Mode C versus erasing only the lines and pixels that were drawn on the screen by redrawing them with background colour. The result, Mode C was faster, saved memory, less code and data structures, and simpler. Right, enough about the boring geeky stuff. I actually find it kind of interesting, even though I only sort of half understand it. But okay, so this level is an absolute swine. I nearly swore there. We've got sort of parts of the environment that sort of appear and disappear with a nice crackle sound. And we see elements from the previous levels included. I hate this level actually because there's a bit later on where there's no clear direction where you need to go, and it's just a big open space. And unless you've played this level before and know where to go from experience, you will get lost basically and not find the exit, which I find is the poor gameplay design. And it's pretty much the only element of the gameplay design in the entire game which I don't rate. I think it's this section here. You just need to keep going up and up and up and up, and then you find this bit here. And when you come to the next bit, you're going to be going down and left. But there's no direction arrows or hint to where you should be going. It's just remembering where you need to go from previous gameplay. Which is poor level design in my opinion. You shouldn't do that. You should have some kind of clue or hint that you need to use your brain power to work out at least. But other than that, it's my only fault with the actual game and the gameplay. So, more backstory. You learn this. Royal bloodlines claim direct lineage from Nephilim, survive today and rule the world. So we've got 2 levels to go. This game I haven't mentioned is 128k only, so if you haven't got 128k memory for your 464 you won't be able to play this. We've got a new element introduced here. You've got to pick up these icons in the right order, so it takes a little bit of working out. I just did it from memory. So you get the I one there, then the E one is the last one, and the sort of, I call it the lightning bolt one, is the last one. That's kind of how I remember it. However, they appear in the same locations every time in the level, so it's just a case of remembering just which order to go in from the last time of working it out or whatever. Okay, I'm just going to say, I'm going to say it right out. I absolutely love this game. I'm really happy with this. I'm really excited to play it. It's kind of a real nostalgic feel to it. I mean, there's a lot of great development in the Amstrad scene with recent games. You know, finding new techniques, including the demo scene as well, producing some amazing looking graphics and things like that. This goes the opposite way. You know, it's just a bunch of lines, but it plays fantastically. It's hugely good fun, and gameplay is king, and this has it in bucket loads. This is great fun. This could have been a full price release in the early 80s, and if it was the mid to late 80s, would have been a very strong budget release. Would have been very popular. There we go. I certainly find this more fun than Thrust, for example. Do I find it more fun than Scramble and Killer Cobra? Ooh, difficult, because you can shoot things in Killer Cobra. I know, you learn this. Giants dwelt in the land of Babylonia. Dinger Mammy made humans, combining dingers, pigs, the digestive system, apes. Listen to what? Enough of this crap story. Alberto, please rethink this, if you can. But Alberto, thank you for producing such a wonderful game. I think he's even given me a thank you on his website. Good. Apparently I've got a good YouTube channel to spread the word, and I'm going to tell the world, well, my 2,400-ish subscribers, that you need to get this game and play it. And if you can, go and buy a physical copy and help support the author, because this is the, I was going to say the best game of the year so far, but then again we did have Prelude to Chaos, which I loved, which was Zelda inspired clone. Wow. But anyway, I love this. Guys, go and download it. It's free to download. It's great fun to play. And spread the word further. I'm very happy with this. So as a review score, because we're on the final level here, guys, I'm going to give this an 8.5 out of 10. I think I might have given it a 9 out of 10 if kind of the presentation between the levels and then the silly backstory was done better or something. Actually, no, guys, no. I'm going to change my mind. I'm actually going to give this a 9 out of 10 because I love this so much. I really enjoyed it, and there's a lot of replay value to it, and it's perfectly programmed, the game itself. Just one poor level design choice, and that's it really. Presentation could have been better. But I'm not going to mark it down for that, I think. Well, it does grate on me a bit. But anyway, gameplay is king. This game is awesome. 9 out of 10. Maybe I'm slightly swayed because I kind of love vector graphics. I love the Vectrex, and I love like the Atari Star Wars game. It's my favourite arcade game of all time. And I think this is the final bit of the last level. And we've completed level 9 without dying. Cool. Very tough game as well. Some of them I had to do level by level when recording this. But there's a final password. Don't look away if you don't want to know it. But it's only going to be used in the next game. Lightlands. You learn this. Dinger rank system is measured in wings. More wings means high level. Metatron, second only to God, has 36 wings. Whatever, okay. So, there we go, guys. I think this should be the ending screen. And we get some different music. Victory! Commendations, human. You have broken the last of Solomon's encryption layers. Thanks to you, we've prevailed over Anu. As promised, you are now risen to... become a Dinger, not the first Nephilim to do so. After a couple of days, the life extension process is finished and you feel immortality. Give it a few seconds. Nice music there. Coursing through your veins. Welcome your new job, guarding the new Solomon's Core against unwanted intrusions. Feels nice to now have... Come on. The keys to every door and one more added dimension. It is going to be fun to be the enforcer of your new 3D digital domains. Victory. Cool, and I think this is a preview of the loading screen of the next game in the series, Lightlands, which I'll be looking forward to eagerly. Very, very excited to try that. I hope that comes out soon. So well done, Alberto. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. A very high score from me, but I don't care. It's my personal opinion, and I love this. And I kind of love Victor graphics and the old school feel to it, and just how well it plays. Great to have a really smooth and fast playing game on the Amstrad. So yeah, that was Vector Volts. Link in the description below to go and download it and play it. Obviously the credits here. The only thing I'd probably say to add to the game would be to have the ability to save your times the levels, so then that might encourage competition between people on the internet to share their scores. And it'd be nice to save it in the game so you could come back and beat it next time. So that might be something for you to think about, Alberto, if you're watching and listening to this and understand what I'm talking about. So yeah, you go guys. That is Vector Volts for you. 9 out of 10. Go and get it. And thanks for watching, guys. See you very soon. Goodbye and cheers. And like and subscribe and comment. Yay. Thank you. Bye. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please click a like below, leave a comment, and also subscribe if you haven't already. And over that way, there's another video for you to check out. Xyphoe out.